Okay, so we have here Nelson versus Mike in a boxing match. Mike has been out injured, so he's kind of coming back a little rusty. Mike is in the black tank top. Nelson is in the Venom shorts with the Venom gloves. Again, some good back and forth. Nelson is always a very explosive fighter. He puts on the pace. He's the one who puts the pressure on in basically all of the fights that we do. So as you can see here, Mike is trying to get comfortable with his footwork. He's trying to get comfortable moving around. He's got long range, so that's the advantage he has over us when we're sparring, is he's got that range. Nelson is good at getting in. He's not afraid to cut corners and get close. So whenever we spar with him, we know that he's going to be flying in and getting close. He also only has like one gear, which is go. Usually we kind of joke around and say, okay, Nelson doesn't have a regular sparring etiquette. He's kind of just one gear. As you can see here, you can see he's a lot more he's a much more active one. But again, like I said, Mike, he's been out injured for a couple weeks. I've also been out injured, haven't been able to do too much striking. So I am also going to be coming back a little slower, a little more rusty also, as I've been recovering from my injury as well. But it's still fun to spar. You can see here. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I got caught up in watching. But yeah, as you can see, it's basically, he keeps on putting on the pace. He landed a good hook right there. He came in from the bottom, but swung up. So he like ducked down, but he swung in. Mikey, for a second, he paused there because he thought the round was over. But there was still another minute. As you can see, with the thing with Nelson and shorter guys like me and Nelson are pretty short. Our range is not as long as people like Mikey. There's also another friend of ours that we spar with. They have long range. So for us, we have to really close the distance in order to land shots. That was a good backhand coming in. He's pretty good with those backhands, slipping it in and then making it seem like he's gonna jab, but then he switches direction and comes in with the backhand. So instead of a spinning back fist, it's like he comes forward and hits you with the back of the hand. It's pretty good technique. Okay, so here now me and Nelson are gonna go. I am doing jiu-jitsu because I cannot spar jets yet. I can strike a little bit, but when it comes to sparring with Nelson, like I said, he only has one gear, and that gear is go. So I'm not going to take any chances to mess up my foot even more. I had a slight fracture in one of the bones in my foot, so I'm not trying to do too much footwork, at least not with Nelson. There's other people I would spar with, but Nelson does not have a I'll take it easy on you because you're injured mode. He just has a I'm going to go as hard as I can mode. You can see here he's trying to get the collar choke on me, or the what's it called? He has the forearm, basically trying to choke me with the forearm while he was pinning me against the ground. But I was able to prevent that. However, I had to give up my back, and he got the finish right there. After getting tapped, now we reset, and now we're back at it. Nelson go ahead and pulls my leg to try to get some kind of what could have been a heel hook or an ankle lock. I was able to successfully kind of pull my leg out of it and get to a somewhat mount. It's kind of like between a half guard and a mount. Twisted it around, try to get a back take, but he was pretty good at defending it. And now he's kind of got like a knee on belly situation. I'm trying to pull the ashigarami. Kind of got the sweep on him a little bit, and now we're here back into the leg entanglement. My defense here is usually to try to just put the boot on, but here I am using my other leg to kind of push his arm from securing the submission. Nelson goes ahead and gets me in the, what is this, the scarf hold. He's got a good pin of my elbow, as you can see there. I was trying to get it down to the ground. However, I would push against his chest with my legs, then push up, and then now I kind of got up on top, struggling to keep him from getting full guard, but he's slipping his right leg out pretty close, and now he's getting to triangle. However, I was able to kind of stack him a little bit, but he recovered his triangle and was able to get the tap. I believe I tap here. Yep, tapped. Okay, we are here in the last minute of the round. I pull guard, I'm trying to get the sweep, but Nelson's base is pretty good. The only reason I kind of got that sweep was I kept his arm locked with kind of a whizzer. I'm not sure like if that would be called a whizzer from that position, but it's a similar kind of arm entanglement. Now I'm kind of almost in full guard, or was full mount, but Nelson's pretty good with his scrambles, so I try to keep him on his side here. I did want to try to get a Kimura, but from that angle it was going to be a little bit more difficult. I move here on top. I'm trying to wrap my arm around to try to secure a darce. However, I'm still kind of working on the darce, so I switched to the back just because my darce is very weak. I do not have the technical skill yet to secure a darce. He spun out of it. I tried to get the full guard, but he was able to keep his back away, and that ended the round. Here we are, round 2. Starting on the ground, a little bit of hand fighting. Nelson goes in, grabs both my legs to prevent me from getting full guard. However, I do grab his ankle to try to prevent him from passing my guard. But he's got good top pressure. I'm still working on my bottom game. I tried to get a sweep there, but I kind of ended up giving my back. So now I'm here trying to defend my back. And now he's getting one arm pretty close to under the neck right there. I'm defending as best as I can. I had to get my back to the floor in order to escape that. However, his pressure stayed constantly right on top, even though I got out of that submission hold. So here he's pretty much got my back pinned to the ground, which is going to make it difficult for me to defend, to kind of get out of that. I'm trying to get my knee in underneath his hips and stomach in order to secure myself from being pinned any further. He's got good pressure, switches to the arm bar, and here I'm just trying to defend it. You can't see it from here, but I'm able to kind of hold onto my arm and keep it from being straightened out, which is how I escaped and was able to roll on top right here into side control. And then I step over. He's going to try to grab my leg to prevent me from doing anything further. Here, I think I try to get, I forget what the submission is called. It's basically right here, how I'm trying to wrap his arm around his neck. He's doing pretty good at actually defending this, where he's kind of bending his arm. Usually you have to straighten the arm out in order to prevent yourself from being choked, which is why I'm not able to get the tap during this interaction, because he keeps on bending that arm back. So he's giving himself some space, which is why I cannot get the tap. Also, he never taps. But as you can see, I'm getting pretty close. However, I do lose the position. Now I'm moving to the back. I'm going to pull him backwards. I do not have any hooks in with my legs, which would have given me a bit more of the advantage, but I was going to go ahead and just try to see if I can get the the choke secured from here. However, his chin is down. I know you can't see it here, but his chin's down, so I'm not able to actually get the tap. He spins out of it very clean spin. And then here he gets me into his full guard. He's trying to get the triangle on me. However, I do have a solution for that, where I basically spin around through the back. Here again, I am working my way to the back. However, Nelson has very good defense from Turtle. He's very explosive too. That's why he's able to kind of just spin out of it. And then here, he's got a kind of a straight arm bar. I got pretty close to tapping, but I figured, okay, I think I can get out of this, which I eventually did. Then I started working my way again, trying to get that back attack, back control, trying to get the rear naked choke. And as I got closer to the end of the round, it was not a success for me. Okay, so here on the right, we have Brandon. He's currently mounted on top of this new guy. He's kind of a spaz. So you'll see here, when you hear someone call someone a spaz in jiu-jitsu, the guy on the bottom right now, you'll see what I mean. So Brandon is in mount. I think this guy's name is Aaron, the spazzy guy. I'm just gonna call him Spaz for now, but his name might be Aaron. I don't know. Anyways, he's got a good grip. He's kind of preventing him from, not preventing him really from doing anything. I think Brandon was trying to be polite here because he understands it. This guy's kind of new, so he's not trying to really ragdoll him around. But he does get a quick triangle from there. Good wrap. Okay, now you can see Spaz is in the full guard of Brandon. He's not really in any danger because this guy doesn't really know where to go. Like I said, he's new. So when you're new, I mean, you can't expect much. He is very tenacious, which I'll give him, credit for. It's good to have that kind of endurance or that kind of determination. But you also have to know your limits. Here he is again in the triangle. As you can see, the coach there, he's kind of looking down. I think at a certain point too, he says, don't forget to tap. He tells Brandon, pull the arm down. This is when he tells him, don't forget to tap. You don't want to injure yourself. He gives up on it, but he's quick to circle back around right back into Brandon's guard. He tries to swing around, and I think he's trying to get like some kind of a choke on him. I'm not really sure what he was trying to look for, but like I said, he's new. It's all right. When you're new, you don't really know what you're doing. I know he did kind of punch Brandon on accident when he was trying to secure that arm. But yeah, Brandon quickly took the back. Okay, so here I am with my cousin. My cousin is a black belt, so basically I get nothing on him. He's very polite to me and kind of lets me try to work, right? Pretty much with everybody he rolls with, he lets them try to get somewhere, lets them get as far as they can, and then eventually he stops you. So as you can see here, even when I'm beginning, I just feel I'm basically lost. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going, even though he's kind of letting me do whatever I can attempt to do. I'm trying to kick my leg out. I was trying to get a knee cut slice, but he quickly reversed it and ended up getting the sweep on me. And now I was actually trying to go for a sweep right there, but these black belts, you don't just sweep them. There, he kind of just let me get the sweep. But yes, he let me get the sweep. He also gets into this Darce or Anaconda. I forget which one this one is, but yeah, he kind of put me in that situation. Then I try to transition into side control, but his defense, or his knee, is keeping a good defense against my knee trying to cut through. Goes ahead and rolls me over again, ends up in my kind of a half guard, but then quickly we transition and he gets me into a guillotine. I jump up, I try to flip over it, but he caught my leg with his leg, so I wasn't able to complete my escape. Then here again, you see he kind of just dominates very politely. He's a polite dominator. As you can see, the spaz is kind of just interrupting. You can see the spaz to the left over here with this guy. I think his name is Jay. Anyways, back to us. So now he's got my back pretty secured. However, I was able to kind of scramble out of it. I was able to get my back to the floor as opposed to him keeping it to his chest. Here he pulls my leg into, we kind of got into a leg entanglement. He's pretty good with the leg entanglements. And right here he's got the heel hook. I'm trying to defend even though he's not pulling on it. He knows that he could pull it on me, but he's just kind of letting me try to defend it. And I end up tapping because I knew that basically my foot would have been done for if this was for real. Or my heel would have been done for. And here I'm just pulling on the neck, trying to get down into him, into my full guard, but obviously it's not that easy. And now we're kind of in a half guard situation. Quarter guard, half guard, I don't know. One of them two. As you can see, he kind of just fell over, kind of on purpose. He's trying to just let me get on top so I can kind of work my top game. However, he does keep a choke pretty secure. Then he grabs my leg. However, I'm kind of a little wise to it because we've rolled a couple times in the past, so I kind of know what to look out for sometimes. I'm still the white belt. But here I was actually able to slightly successfully defend the leg entanglement here. But then he secures it in the end anyways and gets the tap. And then here I am telling him I almost got out of it, and even he acknowledged to my delight that I did get pretty close to escaping it. Then we reset and start all over. We're in the last minute of the round, and immediately again he's got a grip on my my right leg. Here I'm trying to get past his legs to defend it, but he sweeps me down to the ground. I pull on the shoulder to try to put on the boot and prevent him from getting the submission yet again. I go a little bit more sideways, and I can't see what's going on here. I don't quite remember exactly what I was doing, but I think I was able to get out of this one. Yeah, I'm kind of holding on to my own foot here. We're getting to the last 10 seconds of the round, and I am just trying with all my might to defend it, which I was able to. Good old family hug right there, and that's the end of the round. Okay, final round of the night. My cousin and this guy, I think his name is Jay. I keep on forgetting, but I think his name is Jay. Anyways, he is also a white belt, but he has got mad length on him. This guy's got reach. He's a guy who, even when he becomes a blue belt, he's going to be rolling. It's going to be hard for a lot of people to keep up with him. My cousin quickly gets to mount. And I'm not sure which angle he's working on here, but it looks like he's getting kind of a choke. This guy, also because of those legs, he's gonna have a good ability to bridge people off of him. When you bridge, it's kind of right there. That's the bridge. So just having those long legs is very advantageous for you, especially when you got body locks, when you want to bridge. Obviously, he's not as skilled. He is still a white belt, just like me. White belt gang. White belt power. Just kidding. We ain't got no power. But yeah, so here my cousin gets to that knee on belly. He gets the tap, and he had, I think that was like a collar choke or something like that. Pretty good match though. And so that's the first tap. Obviously, Jay, I think that's his name, needs a break. He notices, he says, "Are you recording?" And he says, "Yeah." Anyways, he's asking me if I can send him the recording. So then they get back to it. Fist bump, reset. My cousin, we call him Susie. That's not his name, but we just call him that because it's funny. Again, Susie is a black belt magician. This guy knows all the tricks. Jay here, again, I keep on forgetting if that's his actual name. There's a lot of people that I roll with who I don't know their names, and I've known them for like a good year. That was a pretty good bolo into the leg attack. However, you don't just leg entangle with a black belt. He gets, as you can see here, Susie gets the knee on belly, and he's got this kind of a collar choke, not a collar choke, but it's kind of that front when you use your forearm to choke the throat. This happened to me earlier when I was rolling with Nelson. Then he switches around and he's kind of getting a bit of a guillotine. Now he's switching over to the Darce. Very clean transition to the Darce. He's gonna attempt to flip him over. Oh, but he's able to get the choke or the tap from there. Back at it. Immediately, he kind of gets to his guard. He grabs both legs, which prevents him from passing. But he also uses that as like kind of a bait to grab the leg, get the ankle lock or a possible heel hook. Uses it to sweep, gets on top, and back to the leg entanglement, the leg lock. Uses a bit of a bolo to flip him over. Gets underneath, goes for the Darce again. And here, I'm not sure what he's trying to do here by the defense. Basically, Susie just wraps up all his limbs though with those two legs. He's able to kind of fish his way out, shrimp his way out. Fish? What the fuck? Fish? And, but my cousin stays kind of on top. He's in a bit of a side control right here. They only have like about 30 seconds left in the round. And he's trying to secure the last tap from here. Gets on top into the, was it the collar choke? I believe that was. And from there, I mean, that was pretty much the end of the round. That's the end of the live sesh for the night. And again, like always in jiu-jitsu, it's all fun and games. We're all here to learn, so the handshakes are customary. So that was the session for today. I will try to upload weekly. I guess I'll take you on this new channel of mine, this mixed martial arts journey that I've actually been doing martial arts for a long time. I'm primarily striking. I'm very new to jiu-jitsu. I've only been doing this for a little over a year, and I still have a lot to learn. I'm pretty terrible. As you can see by the footage, my game is going to need years of work. But I want to take you guys on this martial arts experience with me, just because I feel like, honestly, I should have started this a long time ago, just so in the future I can look back. When I do some striking stuff, you'll see my striking is probably a little bit more, I'm a lot more experimental with my striking. I'm trying a lot of new things because I'm more comfortable with striking. However, jiu-jitsu, I feel like I'm picking it up pretty decently for the time frame that I've been doing it. However, I would still say that striking is a lot more difficult than jiu-jitsu, just because there is a time factor in striking that is much more crucial than in jiu-jitsu. But I do love jiu-jitsu. It's like, it's more of like you're having a dance or an argument or a conversation. It's kind of very, jiu-jitsu is very strange in the way that depending on who you're rolling with kind of dictates what kind of a role you're having, whether you're having a dance, like I said, or a conversation or a debate. Like sometimes you want to keep the conversation going, so you know you're kind of going back and forth, and sometimes you're just having like a debate, like who's got this argument down, who can win this argument. Anyways, so this is my new channel, MMA, Circadian MMA, and yeah, thanks for tuning in.